if you get attacked, you can use it as a... Great start. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where we take old clothes and make it fashion. If you spend like a sick amount, like disturbing amount of time on this wonderful phenomenon called social media, just like...
No comments.
You may have seen this viral not bag. I'm not saying it's not a bag, it's a not bag. So we're gonna take inspiration from this viral climbing rope bag. The DIY was actually posted on TikTok. Stunning, absolutely rope-tastic. I'd say take a good look, ladies and gentlemen, because this is not what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a little bit different, like actually a lot different. But we're gonna do the knitting without needles. And because I was not really feeling going from gym to gym, asking for rope. And honestly, in Berlin, the people are not that helpful lots of times. I'm gonna use these good old familiar stinky ass jeans everywhere. Wow! Ooh, it's a bit gross though. Ugh, where did I get this? I think I'm just gonna go for like the pasta tricolor, everything together. Then maybe recycled fiber. Oh, that's meta. If you want to buy a helmet, contact me, I'm broke. Okay, let's go outside. Let's quickly do this. Let's get it over with. So I'm gonna rip some strips out of the jeans, so as long as possible on one piece. About this wide, almost 3 centimeters. Back pocket, I just got cut, rip, rip, cut, rip, rip, cut. Back clear. Really dripping wet here. It's not camera outside weather. I made a skirt.
Hello.
Anyway, it's a new day. Let the strip showing begin. I don't know, guys. This seems a good idea in my hands. Surprise, surprise, but somehow I have somewhat of a strategy this time. Yes, hello, meet a new me.
A few inches later.
Oh, my toes cramp.
A few inches later.
It's already breaking. Forget about that last thing, new me. Ooh, what? Huh? No, I didn't say that. Also trying just to get through the day here. But anyway, so I'm just zigzagging 3 strips of jeans on top of each other. Obviously the prettiest jeans on the outside. But then, and here comes the genius part, let them all end at a different length. Then the next ones begin all at a different length, and that way I can zigzag them together without having to have a seam allowance. Kinda clever, kinda Nobel Prize worthy. Don't saying it myself.
I'd never. But if they want to contact me, they can reach out on Instagram.
Quite a few meters now. I think it's enough. I hope it's enough. Because I'm folding it over now, in the middle, and stitching over it one more time. Just to make it a bit more rope-like. Give it some body. Instead of using a straight stitch like yours truly, well, almost straight, but don't tell anyone, you might want to use a zigzag stitch here to prevent the edges from fraying. Because the fray was a little much, not so slay, and the shedding threads were a little in the way. Okay.
On the edges, and I pierced through the ends of the rope with
Fucking hell, that is so unfucking clear.
There's this crochet knot that I learned when I was younger, actually, to store climbing rope.
Hola, le puntado que utilizo se llama punto bajo. Oh, okay. I asked for help on TikTok. Got one reply in Spanish. Punto bajo. That's supposed to be the name of the knot. Why did I start doing this again? The first knot is just this basic kind of adjustable loop knot that everyone knows. I think we have the first knot. So I'm watching a crochet beginner tutorial because I honestly think I did it once in my fashion school. Never touched it again. The bag DIY, it's hardly explaining anything, honestly. It usually starts with a chain, which should be just loops. So it's kind of like you go in with your needle. This is what we do with our fingers, and you just make a loop in the new loop. So I'm totally going off this basic crochet tutorial now. So you're basically going back 2 holes. So you skip the first hole and go into the second one.
That's what she said.
Pull the yarn through, make a new loop there. Then you're gonna take your yarn and pull it through both loops. Then you go to the next hole and pull the yarn through again. Make a loop there. Looks pretty easy going, but honestly I was starting 5 times over with this. Then again, pull the yarn through both loops. Search the next hole, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Unless. I don't know what the front of their back is. They do look different. I'm a little underwhelmed, to be honest.
That's what she said.
Someone else sent me on TikTok a video, kind of like finger knitting. It looks a bit easier. It is literally just knitting instead of crochet. I feel like I might want to try that out because I feel like I might have made these knots a little too tight too. Not so stiff. This is literally like a stone. Kill someone with this. we have to continue.
Now, sashay away.
Let's just start on the other side, just to be sure. Chop, 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 chop. Keep a little crop, crop, chop, chop. Bring it to the trimming salon. Look, was anything wrong with it? Not really. But because I did not want to ruin my reputation as someone who has no direction and never sticks to the plan, I wanted to try out this other knitting technique, tying up exactly the same with a chain. Let's stop right here. Before we go any further, do you love it? Okay, so she just goes back now. You would almost have to go in the first one, otherwise it's gonna unravel the upper ones. I was not lying, this one is a lot easier. There's not so much contemplating about which hole to take and when and why, or finding out the exact moment that it went wrong in your life, that you happen to have studied fashion and still don't know a basic crochet knot whatsoever. Hell no! Just dive from hole to hole, putting loops in every hole. Just loop, 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 loop. The only thing is to make sure you don't miss one. And then when you come to the end, you go, there's only one way to go, back and make loops in those loops again. It is actually that simple, guys. Not as terrible as it could be. Even Carlos could do that.
A few moments later.
Oh no, I got... No. Sideways. And well, don't go in the same loop that you just created. Which I just did for demonstration purposes, obviously. Eat, sleep, knit, repeat. I think it's gonna be cute, small. Just like a dog. The smaller the cuter.
This dog is a tiny dog.
You don't want to walk with this kind of heavy... Boom, boom, boom. Also, tiny detail, I did not have enough yarn to make a bigger bag, which I could potentially make extra, which of course, motivation. Just not today, okay? I'll be honest, I'm quiet quitting here, but don't tell anyone. Goes so quick because the loops are so big. So much better than the crochet, I think. There's some kind of movement to it, you know? Can't complain for once about my life. So I'm trying to count the loops so that it is exactly the same on both sides. However, that always sounds easier than it is. Escherist kind of art, you just don't really know what you're looking at. Getting confused from all this spaghetti. Just gonna close it off again by pulling the upper loop through loop, through loop, through loop, through loop, through loop, through loop. To not have like big fat knots sticking out on all sides, I secure the ends of the rope well with some hand stitches, which I think the girl in the video is also doing, but again, not really clear. Almost thinking you can close this in many creative ways. I'm thinking about taking some artistic freedom. You can close it with a lot of silver rings, for example. Imagine if there's all these kind of rings hanging there. Carabiners. Or with a leather strap and have it be the handle too. Or, I thought, now I'm gonna live on the edge. You just do straps, knot them. You could have like such a weird kind of denim fringe. However, truly in style of my channel, I decided to pick the worst technique, which was using this last piece of yarn to knot the two sides together. I feel like I had somewhat of a wrong crossing technique because the bag ended up having some quite big holes in some spots, but you know, what do you put in a bag anyway? Your belongings? Well, it's just belongings. Don't be materialistic now. And I have all these pieces sticking out on one side. What I do is elongate them by sewing another piece of yarn to it. So then we have two strings on one side of the bag still. Then I looked on this phenomenon called the internet for cute knots, and I found a flat knot, which I'm not saying was not flat. It was looking a little flat indeed, since I was pretty ready to call it a day, aka silently quit. Couldn't really decide whether to continue or not, so I kept it half knotted and half unknotted, which resulted in kind of a cool solution in the end. I didn't say a lot, but it got quite interesting in my opinion. Definition of aesthetically pleasing? Probably not. It's a little bit ugly core. I feel like it's all about how you wear it. Probably use a little bit of improvements even, like maybe a different handle. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Like the video. Say hi in the comments. Also follow my new TikTok because the old one is do a fashion show. All we have left in our miserable life. Little fashion shows in our backyard. So I brought the ring light outside. Let me know if I have less eye bags. Want more bags, but less eye bags. Let me know if it works. Accidentally made like a strap that can kind of close it in a little bit of a way. Just another way of wearing it a little bit casually. It's somewhat reversible. 2-in-1 bag. Surprise, surprise. You can wear it like this and then you have a short handle. Oh, yeah. This is my way of knitting. A big fat pause instead of those